So last night, I finally saw what was supposed to be the biggest train wreck of the year, Captain America: Brave New World, and I want to be honest, I wasn't really excited for this movie. The trailers just weren't very appealing to me, so to speak, and all the behind-the-scenes drama and mess I was hearing was just not doing anything to get me wanting to go see this movie. But it was Valentine's Day, I was alone, and near starting the rumbling if I saw one more happy fucking couple.
Oh, I see. Sorry, I didn't think you'd say something that pathetic.
So I decided to hit up my little bro and go check out this movie in D-Box. And if there's one thing to be learning lately, it's that sometimes I'm actually wrong on my opinions before seeing something. Just like with Spider-Man, I wanted to go in hating this, ready to absolutely clown on it in a YouTube video or a TikTok, only to really be entertained and enjoy this movie. So yeah, if you're looking for a video that's going to be shitting on this movie, that's not necessarily going to be this video because I actually really enjoyed this movie. Now, I'm going to try and go on for as spoiler-free as I can, and I don't know what footage I'm using in here, so sorry if it's like some weird gameplay footage because I'm getting copyrighted by Marvel, but I will let you know when I'm about to get into spoilers, but for the most part, I want to try and stay spoiler-free. I'm not going to waste your time. All I ask is if you enjoyed the video and you like my content, please go check out more, leave a like if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, and let me know your thoughts, good or negative, on the movie down below. With all that YouTuber jargon out of the way, like I said, I really enjoyed this movie. Again, I was going into this movie with the assumption that this was going to be an absolute train wreck mess of a film. It's going to have no cohesion in the story. Things are just more so going to happen rather than a plot is going to move. But it really wasn't like that. It was a pretty solidly paced story, and you go through it, you're learning about this mystery of who is setting up the president, who is trying to start this war between the US and Japan. And that is the basic premise of the movie. Is Sam Wilson's Captain America along with the new Falcon is trying to figure out who is behind starting this war over the animanium, Illumium. I forgot what it's called, I'm not gonna lie, but the stuff that came from the celestial being. I just know there's gonna be that one guy, you don't even know what you're talking about, and look how, shut up. Anyways, while the plot is nothing too overly insane or exciting, it is a really fun spy thriller. That's what these Captain Americas always have been, political spy thrillers. So to the critics out there saying that this movie is too political, do you know what you're fucking watching? But to be honest, I wasn't overly invested in the mystery and who is behind it. I was just kind of there for the ride personally. When it comes to my experience with this movie, I really loved all the action that was in here. It was really tense. Now, in this movie, obviously, Sam does not have the same strength, the same level of power as Steve Rogers' Captain America, as he doesn't have the super soldier serum. And that's kind of a thing throughout the movie, is should he have taken the super soldier serum? And I think it makes for great fights that he doesn't have it. Really great, intense fights. Now, at the end of the day, we know he's not going to die, but still, the fact that he has to almost get a little bit more creative in his fights, think his way out, especially when it comes to, like, fighting the Red Hulk, and you're just kind of like, oh my god, he might actually die here, even though you know he's not actually going to die there. It makes the fight scenes a lot more fun, and then combine that with the fact that I was in D-Box with the seat moving and massaging and going all around when the characters are fighting and Falcon's flying. It made for a really fun and enjoyable cinematic experience. Not that I'm saying this movie is a masterpiece or cinema or anything, but when it comes to sitting down to enjoy this movie in the theater, the action really gets you in there. And one of the things I also really appreciated is that they toned down the MCU jokes by a lot. That's another thing that really turned me off of the MCU, was nothing could be serious and everything needed to be a joke, except in this movie, that's not really how it went. Don't get me wrong, yeah, there were some jokes, but they were pretty few and far between, and they let some of the more serious topics stay serious. Now, I know you're going to want to obviously know my thoughts on the story itself, and well, I didn't love it. Again, I really enjoyed it and had a fun time. I'm a huge fan of murder mysteries and mystery stories, seeing if you can pick up the pieces earlier on enough in the show or in the movie to figure out who the culprit is by the middle or by the end. And while it's not necessarily satisfying who the, so you could say, killer is in this mystery, it is a fun mystery. It is really fun getting to see Sam Wilson's Captain America trying to find his place and his spot as Captain America. This film is a little bit of the Winter Soldier kind of done over again, but I don't really care. I still had a lot of fun with this. The mystery in the story was engaging enough to have me actively trying to guess who was behind this. I was wrong quite a couple times. I thought it might have been the new Falcon. I was like, I don't trust him. I don't know. He felt too cheerful, too jokey, too lively, and I felt like it was gonna be some like insane plot twist. Cap's about to figure out who it is, and then boom, Sam gets like shot in the back by the new Falcon, and everyone's like, holy shit, that's obviously not what happened. But that was the kind of theory crafting going on in my brain while watching this movie. So I'm recording in my room because my monitor is still broken. I haven't gotten a new one, so if you hear the floor creaking, that's my bad. I'm walking around. Essentially, this movie almost feels like a sort of remake of The Winter Soldier and an extended episode or finale to The Falcon and Winter Soldier, which certain things about that show aside, in terms of just entertainment, I really did enjoy The Falcon and Winter Soldier. Now, I haven't watched it since I was like 15, 16, I think, somewhere around there when it aired, so my memory might be a little more skewed on it, but Bucky and Sam, how could you not love that shit? There's one more thing I do want to add before I get into some spoiler territory here, and that is, I want to talk a bit about Harrison Ford as Thunderbolt Ross and Red Hulk. This was a character that I never really gave a shit for in the MCU. He was always just kind of there, but Harrison Ford puts on a really good performance as Thunderbolt Ross and Red Hulk, and he honestly almost carried this movie with his performance, in that fear and that pressure that you just see building up with him throughout the entire movie, knowing that he's going to at some point burst into Red Hulk. I love it. And when he finally does come out as Red Hulk, it is tense, scary. The fight with Sam Wilson, like I said, is, it's just so good. It's so tense because Sam doesn't have that super soldier serum. Sam is struggling. He's getting thrown around. He's getting beaten, chased around. He is almost at the mercy of Red Hulk, and it just made for a really enjoyable final fight, at least for me, especially in those 4DX, D-box seats where you're jumping like you are Red Hulk going after Cap. It was a lot of fun. Okay, and lastly, getting into the end here with my spoiler thoughts. So if you are not wanting spoilers, if you care, leave now or forever hold your peace. Spoilers are inbound. Thank you for watching. Like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. Spoiler talk. Let's talk about it. Okay, so there was continuing the conversation about Red Hulk. There's a couple times in the movie where I thought it would have been better if he had transformed there, or I thought he was going to transform there, but the fact that Red Hulk had been spoiled in so much of the promotional material had me lose a lot of tension. So the scene when they're in the ocean fighting over the celestial material with Japan, and Harrison Ford's character is just starting to lose it and get angry, and it looks like he is about to Hulk out onto the ship. That scene would have been so much more tense if we didn't know where the fight between Red Hulk was going to take place in the trailer. And yes, Red Hulk isn't in the movie very long, maybe like 5 or 10 minutes at most. And he eats up the screen time he has, and it is really fun to just see a crazy Hulk that's just not thinking, that's not themselves, and is just all about hulking and smashing and destroying things, and he is just going at Sam Wilson. Wow. And he is just going at Sam Wilson with everything he has. And honestly, I didn't really care for who the twist villain was, being, I don't even remember his name, but he was from The Incredible Hulk. It's cool to see that movie mentioned more. I have some great memories of that movie with my high school buddies, but I really didn't care. Like, this was a villain I'd completely forgotten about and just barely kind of remembered in my head from The Incredible Hulk. Now, I did kind of figure out that it was a villain from The Incredible Hulk because that movie was mentioned so many times, and obviously Thunderbolt Ross is kind of the villain or one of the villains in this movie. Even though he is trying to change, he's doing better, there's still the fight with Red Hulk and everything. I don't know, I just really didn't care for the, I was like, oh, okay, whatever, you look gross, weird Icky Brain, you were in the first Hulk, I guess. Cool. I really just enjoyed the fights, and more the mystery and the lead up to that reveal was a lot more fun. Trying to piece it together was a lot more fun than who it ended up being in the end. I wish it would have been a more crazier twist, like Falcon, like the new Falcon. What if it was the new Falcon? That would have been fucking insane. And I don't think this is a just nothing burger of an action movie. I do think this does have something to say about, again, the pressure and weight of expectations. That's what a lot of great superhero media is reflecting our daily lives and what's going on in the world right now, and putting that into a more hopeful twist with these heroes. And that is kind of what Brave New World does, especially with, you know, some of the stuff that's going on between like Canada and the US and all those things right now, when it's just like, hey man, can't we all just, you know, get along? It's kind of like that. It kind of reminds me of some of that, but I don't really care for a lot of political stuff. I really just love the action and the characters in this movie. I really liked Sam Wilson since he was introduced. I've enjoyed his character as the Falcon. I always thought he was a funny character. Him and Bucky were a dynamic duo, and I love to see Bucky return in this movie. That was a really cool surprise. Oh my god, it's Buck. He pretty much just said, hey, I gotta go into Thunderbolts, go watch that movie. Deuces, gang. Wasn't like a crazy big role he had, but Buck was in this movie, keeping up the streak of Buck being in every single Captain America movie. You can't have a Captain America movie without Bucky Barnes. But overall, I don't think that this is a cinematic masterpiece that you need to experience on the big screen like, say, another movie that released this week, Attack on Titan, The Last Attack. Phenomenal movie. Go see it if you haven't watched it and you like anime, or you're curious about animation and want to get a feel for that world. It'll spoil the ending of the series, yeah, but I think you should check it out. It's a fun time at the theaters. Then that's exactly what this movie is. A fun time at the theaters, a fun movie, and that's all I want some of these Marvel movies to be sometimes. I'm not looking for the next masterpiece, the next masterclass, redefining the genre. Should they be trying for that every movie? Yeah, I think that'd be cool in an ideal world, but sometimes we just get fun superhero movies, and I realize I am lisping a lot because I'm a little sick and I sound a bit like an idiot now, so I want to stop the video here. But overall, just know it's not great, it's not perfect. Actually, it is pretty great. It's surprisingly great. I liked Captain America Brave New World for what it is, a fun superhero thriller mystery, a decent mystery with some great build-up, really good at dropping some hints here and there throughout the movie. Fun action. They take the action back to being really fun. I know I've heard some complaints about it not being shot too well or this or that. I don't know, man. I had a really good time at this movie. I give it like a solid 7 or 8 out of 10. It is an enjoyable, fun movie that I would recommend going to see in the theaters. Don't be expecting the best written story. There are problems. You can see where some of the stuff is reshoots. Some stuff you could tell is green screen, this and that. But honestly, where I'm at with Marvel movies is I'm just trying to enjoy them again. So I didn't really have a lot of negatives with this movie. And yeah, it might make me sound like a glazer, like I'm trying to dick ride Marvel. But if you know anything about me, the past 3 years, I've been doing nothing but shitting on Marvel. And it is kind of exhausting. And to start getting projects that I'm at least enjoying, I think I'm just focusing a lot more on what I've enjoyed out of these movies and kind of forgetting the stuff I didn't like, because it's not that deep at a fun Captain America movie that I saw on Valentine's Day. But that is it for my review on Captain America Brave New World. Let me know your thoughts down below, good or bad. Give me some valid criticisms if you didn't like the movie. Really let me know what you thought was bad, what was good. I love having these conversations in the comment section, so I'd love to hear your thoughts no matter what you think about this film. Leave your thoughts down below. And if you guys did enjoy this, check out some of my other content and maybe consider hitting that subscribe button for more movie, TV, nerd, the pop culture kind of content just like this. I'm really expanding out now. Spider-Man is ending this week or next week, I guess I should say. I'm really excited for that on Wednesday. We'll be covering the finale and I cannot wait. Thank you to everyone who has been joining and supporting the videos recently. Thank you so much for watching. As usual, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. I will see you in the next video. Peace out.